So you're running Ubuntu 12.04, and you've recently seen that 14.04 has been released. Well, did you know that you can actually do an in-place upgrade? I'll walk you through that now.
What is up, YouTube? It's Ubu the Tech Guru coming straight at ya. How is everybody doing today? I'm doing fan-tiddly-astic, and I'm excited to bring you this Tech Tuesdays with Ubu episode because I've been running Ubuntu 12.04 for a long time. I mean, the release cycles are once every 6 months, I believe. So, you know, right now, version 14.04 was just released yesterday, I believe, on April 17th, which is Ubuntu Trusty Tar. And, you know, so I've been running 12.04 for, so it's every 6 months. So there was 12.10, 13.04, 13.10, and now 14.04. And there is a way to upgrade your system from one long-term support release to the next long-term support release. So that's what the 12.04 was previously, you know, the latest long-term support release. Some people like sticking with the LTS releases because of their stability and their longer length of support from Canonical. So, you know, they have 5 years of support for the operating system. So, now that Trusty Tar is released, I can finally upgrade my Ubuntu system to Trusty Tar 14.04. I'm also going to be upgrading my server eventually to Trusty Tar. You know, the server still runs 12.04 as well, but let's just concentrate on the desktop for now. And as you can see here, running a few commands. Right now I'm running kernel 3.8.0-35. Now everybody's kernel might be a little different. I installed certain kernels on my own, so those aren't. So 3.8 isn't necessarily the 12.04 kernel. I want to apologize for my nasally sounding. I got a little bit of a cold this morning, or I'm stuffed up, so I apologize for that. But so your kernel might be different. You know, that's okay. Just ignore that. I was just showing you what the current release that I'm on. So there you can see that I'm on Ubuntu 12.04.4 LTS. Release codename is Precise. So that's Precise Pangolin. That's what that's what this video is going to be about, is upgrading from 12.04 to 14.04 Trusty Tar. Now, this is also assuming you have a desktop manager, you have a graphical user interface, a GUI. You know, that's what we're looking at here. It's not just a command line. You know, it's you got a GUI. So in order to get the upgrade to actually show, there may be, you know, various ways of doing it, but this is the way that I know how to do it. The first thing that's important that you do is that you remove your third-party binary drivers, such as either the NVIDIA binary or the AMD binary. Now, I was running the AMD Catalyst 13.11, you know, beta driver, and the way to remove your graphics driver properly, or at least the way that I always have success with it, is to go to one of your TTY sessions, so either TTY1 through TTY6, and kill your desktop manager, which for me is LightDM. So I would do, I'm not going to do all this because it wouldn't be able to get recorded by a simple screen recorder. But so in order to kill your desktop manager, you would do sudo service LightDM stop, and I would hit enter. And I would do that from my TTY1, and that would kill LightDM. Then I would run the command to remove the binary, sudo sh amd -- uninstall. Excuse me. So that's the command that I would run to remove the AMD catalyst from my system. You know, your command might be different. You might be using the additional drivers screen under, you know, there's additional drivers right there. That installs the, you know, the binaries from NVIDIA or AMD from the Ubuntu repositories. So that's another way to get those. You know, there's forum posts all throughout the internet showing you how to properly remove the binary drivers. The point is that you want to get those removed so that you can perform your upgrade, you know, and still be left with a GUI, a graphical user interface, your desktop manager. So after, you know, you run the uninstall on your driver, then you're going to want to restart your machine. So that's where I'm at right now. I restarted my machine. I'm presented with a graphical user interface, and now we're going to perform the upgrade itself. So the first thing, you know, some people run the update manager. So right here, if I click on update manager, it should show you that you have Trusty Tar available, but for some reason it doesn't. Even if I go on settings, and it's supposed to notify me when I have new Ubuntu versions for long-term support versions. And if it's not showing you, then you need to start Update Manager a different way. So we would close this. So to start the upgrade process, and you want to use a graphical user interface, you would start the Update Manager with the -d. So sudo update manager -d, and I believe that means distribution upgrade, because normally update manager is just going to show you what packages it can update, but the -d signifies that it's a distribution upgrade. So there you see that now it shows me I can upgrade to Ubuntu release 14.04. I click on upgrade, and it's telling me about Trusty Tar. There's a link to get some help, you know, the various IRC channels, sign up to their mailing list, you know, reporting bugs, participating in the Ubuntu community. And here you can see what's new in the release by visiting ubuntu.com/desktop/features, and all you got to do is click upgrade. So now it's telling me that third-party sources were disabled. That's a good thing, because they can interfere with an upgrade and prevent certain packages from being installed, which we don't want. So that's good that it disabled the third-party sources. We can always re-enable them after we finish the upgrade. So it's basically fetching the new you know, information from the updated 14.04 repositories, checking the package manager. It's calculating the changes, and it should bring up a nice little box that shows us how many packages are being removed, how many are being upgraded, how many are being installed, so on and so forth. So here we go. I always recommend to people to do a backup of your critical information first. You know, like your home partition or your home folder. I would strongly suggest backing it up just in case the upgrade goes bad. What I did was I actually used CloneZilla and cloned my entire drive to an external USB hard drive. That way, if this upgrade fails, I can quickly restore back to 12.04 and get back up and running quickly. So here's a picture, or you know, a nice overview of what's all being changed. They're removing 51 packages. The 708 new packages are going to be installed. 2,067 are going to be upgraded. I have a total of 1,787 megabytes to be downloaded. The download will take 8 minutes according, with my current connection. Installing the upgrade may take several hours. Once the download is finished, the process cannot be canceled. So it's just telling you, to prevent data loss, close all open applications. So we'll close our browser here in the background. So all you got to do is click the Start Upgrade, and it should perform the upgrade. So it's going to get all the new packages, it's going to install the upgrades, it's going to clean up, and then it's going to ask you if you want to restart the computer. So that's obviously going to take a long time, which I won't show you guys in the video. I'll just start recording again once the system is back up and running and we're running 14.04. So we'll see you in 1 second. So after it's done getting all the new packages, now you can see that it's installing the upgrades. You can actually see what it's doing by just clicking this little arrow here. It'll show you the terminal session of where, what it's all upgrading. So throughout the upgrade, you might get notifications about the upgrade not being able to do something. In this case, it's telling me that it's trying to configure libc 6, and it says that X Screensaver and XLock More must be restarted before upgrading. So it's just telling me one or more instances of those have been detected on the system because of incompatible library changes. The upgrade of the GNU libc library will leave you unable to authenticate to these programs. You should arrange for these programs to be restarted or stopped before continuing this upgrade to avoid locking your users out of their current sessions. So I just hit forward because the X Screensaver won't get enabled while I'm doing the upgrade, so I'm not concerned with that warning. So if any other boxes just pop up, most times whatever the default option is fine. You can just go ahead and accept whatever the default option is going to do. So another window popped up to let us know, if you have customized configuration files that are of high level or of high importance, it will often ask you what you want to do with the file because it sees that it's different than the new file that it's installing. So in this case, it's etc syscontrol.conf, and you can actually use this little arrow and show you what the differences are between the file that's on the computer and then the new file that's that it wants to install. So you can see here the files that are different, or the areas that are different, is the vm.swappiness equals 10 is something that is on the file that's already on the computer, versus this file won't be here, or this line is not there on the file it's trying to replace it with. So I'll just make a note of it. I'll take a picture because I want to install the default, whatever 14.04 needs to install by default. I want it to do that. So I'm going to tell it to replace this file on the computer with the file from the Ubuntu repositories, and then I'll go in back after it's all done upgrading and make these edits to the new file. I could keep my current file, and not use the one that's provided from the 14.04 repository, but there might be other stuff that I'm missing out on. So I'm going to replace it and then go ahead and come in after the fact and edit it and make it look, add the VM swappiness line. So we're going to say replace. And it should continue on with the upgrade. So to get a perspective of time, you guys are only seeing how many minutes of the video, but this has been running for at least a half an hour, I would say. So it's only, it's only like maybe an eighth of the way done. It's still got a long way to go between finishing installing the upgrades, cleaning up the system, and then restarting the computer. So we're a long way off from that. So here's another DevConf window that appeared because it sees that there's a difference between the smb.conf file that I have on the machine compared to the version of the file that's, it wants to install from the 1404 repositories. So what you want to do is, determine if your configuration file, if you want to keep that, or if you want to install the package maintainers version. Now, what I usually do with these types of situations is I will note down that, just like the last, time, I'll note down the file and make sure that I make a copy of the file from the current machine. So in this case, smb.conf, that is stored in etc/samba/ in that directory there. So I would just go to, that folder on the computer, etc samba, there it is, smb.conf. I would take a copy of it and I would move it onto, either an external USB drive, or in this case I have, network attached storage still connected to this machine. So within a folder I created called conf files, I'm going to paste that file in here, and then I'm going to choose to install the package maintainers version. That way, it installs the most up-to-date smb.conf file with the Samba server. And then I'll go in after the fact and edit the smb.conf, and basically make it look like my current modified one. There's other tools you can use within this that you can keep your local version, that you have installed already, or you can show the differences between the versions. You can, do a three-way merge between the available versions. It says this is experimental, so I don't know if I would do that or not. Show side-by-side difference between the versions. So let's just click that and see what it does. So I hit forward. So now it's showing me line-by-line differences between the smb.conf file that's on the machine and the smb.conf that it wants to install with 1404. So you can scroll down and see the differences between the file it wants to install and mine. I know, for example, my conf file would have, extra shares in it and everything. So that just, see, then you hit forward. It should bring us back to the option. Yep. So now it still says, well, what do you want to do with this? So I'm going to go ahead and install the package maintainers version and go ahead and hit forward. And it should continue on with the installation, with the upgrade, I should say. We're only barely halfway done, and it's literally been an hour and a half now, I think, total. Unfortunately, I wasn't recording when I don't know why. I pushed the button to proceed, but basically a dialog box similar to this appeared, and it showed me that it was going to remove, 117 packages, and, and was asking me if I really wanted to remove them. And, you're going to want to just accept yes that you can remove it. Those were needed for the old, Ubuntu operating system you had, and it's going to get rid of those because you no longer need them, like old kernels and stuff and old packages. So you're just going to want to hit yes, remove them. It's your choice. You can hit keep, but you definitely don't need them. So after you hit yes, remove, the little remove button in the dialog box, now you can see here that it's cleaning up. It's removing everything that I just told it to. So it looks like we're getting to the end of the upgrade here. I apologize for the washer and dryer going on in the background there. Hopefully I'm able to filter some of that out with Audacity noise removal. I apologize for that. But we're getting to the end of the upgrade, thankfully. So it looks like the upgrade is done, and it's ready to restart the computer. So all you have to do is click Restart Now, and it should reboot your computer into the new Ubuntu 14.04. All right, so now we're back in Ubuntu 14, or we're back in Ubuntu, booted up into a graphical user interface, as you can see. and we're now running Ubuntu 14.04. We can take a look just to validate that, doing uname-mr. We're now running kernel 3.13.0-24. There we go. We're running release 14.04.
So hopefully you guys found this video beneficial. I do apologize for it being so long, but I did want to show step by step, you know, each little thing that occurred during the upgrade process. You know, so it was really detailed, and it was definitely a little drawn out. I do apologize for that. So leave me a rating, let me know what you thought of the video, and let me know in the comments what version of Ubuntu are you running, and were you aware that you could go from one LTS version to the next LTS version for Ubuntu distributions. And that's about all I got for tonight, so until next time, I'll smell you when I smell you.
Ubu out.